It's the SKOR North Twins Show. Baseball!
SKOR North Twins Show with our guy, Doogie. I would like to offer up an opportunity. Would you guys like to run this show? Would someone else like to run this show? Actually, I'm going to rescind that offer and pull it back. I'm going to keep running the show if that's okay. That's what I'm going to do here today on the SKOR North. I've heard all the offers. I listened to everything. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on. So I'm actually going to remain in control. And I'm motivated by everyone else.
Cheers.
By our audience here who continues to support the show. So thank you.
So petty. Richard Petty, Chase Petty, Declan Petty. Tom Petty, Declan Petty.
Yeah.
Lori Petty.
Won't back down. Yep.
Lori Petty, actually. What happened to her?
She was on Orange is the New Black for like
League
8
of Their
seasons,
Own?
man. League of Their Own.
I guess I didn't watch it. Sorry.
Why can't I visualize Laura Petty? Do I need to go to
Lori Petty?
Exactly. So
Point Break.
Tells you how much I know about Lori Petty. How come I can't get a visual of Lori Petty? Do I need to go to a
short haircut?
Yeah, she's got a look.
Yeah, she definitely has a look.
Got a look.
All right, let's see if I can multitask.
I'll set us up here.
Quick.
How did we end up here?
Well,
that's right. Phil.
My fault. That's my fault.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Point Break. She was great.
So, Dukes,
go Twins.
You're joining us here on the SKOR North Twins Show. Yesterday, the news came out that the Twins are going to remain owned by the Pohlads family. They're pulling back their offer from the open market. We have learned that there's going to be 2 new minority investors. We don't know how much stake. One that's Minnesota-based, one that is East Coast-based. I guess your thoughts, because Mackie, Judd, and I, we've done a few hours on this now since yesterday and even today on the Mackie and Judd show. I guess what was your thoughts on the sale of the Twins now, pulling them off and remaining under Pohlad control for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, Declan. So it'll be more than 2. Like, this Minnesota group is multiple. Like, we've talked about the name Marty Davis. I still need to confirm that, but the Davis family, Cambria ownership, a big footprint here in the Twin Cities. So I wouldn't be shocked if Marty, his family, are a part of this Minnesota group. Then, yes, this East Coast group still going through the formal approval process with Major League Baseball. That's why these names weren't announced on Wednesday. I guess there's a part of me, and talking with a few people over at Target Field, there was always this, we need to see it to truly believe it. Now, I have all sorts of questions. Let's go back 1 month. All-Star break. Rob Manfred. Baseball Writers Association breakfast gathering. So no cameras present, but many writers. So it was only a quote fest. But multiple writers quoted him. I'm paraphrasing, but there is going to be a transaction, and it will be comparable to recent transactions, pointing to the Tampa Bay Rays being sold for $1.7 billion. The Baltimore Orioles in the last, 14, 15 months being sold for $1.7 billion. So what exactly changed from exactly 1 month ago to today? Did they ever come close to getting a $1.7 billion offer? My sense is no. Were all the Pohlads always on the same page? My sense is no. That Joe Pohlad, I'm not convinced, ever wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Other members of the Pohlad family, okay, but I'm just not there that Joe was truly all in on giving up the team. I get it. Like, the fan base, like, somebody needs to be out on the plaza pregame tonight just to take the temperature of many, many fans. Declan, will you be at the game tonight?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
So please, will you have a microphone? Can you please be out on the plaza pregame?
Just man in the street.
And don't force feed the information. Just say, hey, your thoughts on the Pohlad family retaining majority ownership. And let any number of people just say whatever they're going to say. But I'm not going out on a limb. My sense is there is incredible frustration. Now, hey, that's a good thing, because if I'm the Twins, my concern here in a couple weeks is apathy sets in. We already get it. In the history of Target Field, this will be, in terms of attendance, at the bottom. Like, they may not even get to 1.8 million. What exactly will attendance look like next year? So just a PR nightmare. Yes, I'm biased because I work in a visual medium, but the fact that Joe Pohlad on Wednesday did interviews with the Star Tribune, the Pioneer Press, the Athletic, Sportico, where was he? It doesn't have to be on Channel 5 or SKOR North. But what about Twins television? What about the Twins radio network? Is he that afraid to do an interview where you can hear/watch what he's saying?
I think,
Like,
yes.
it's just baffling to me. There's so many questions I still have, but I get it. The fan base right now is pissed off, but the Twins should appreciate that passion because I worry that that passion is going to go away soon enough.
Yeah. I mean, to answer your question about, what happened 2 years ago, Joe went on state-run, WCCO radio and said the right size the business quote. I think he thinks he's a lot more comfortable in like print, sort of casual written form than radio and TV, and that's just how it's been for a long time. I'd love to read.
Yes, attempts have been made, by the way, not necessarily. Well, I did text Joe personally. He hasn't gotten back to me. Not that I expected him to, but I've made attempts going back any number of months and years to sit down, have an on the camera, on the record, on camera conversation with him.
Yeah.
It's never come to fruition. He's not comfortable in that setting.
So here are some of the things he did say via The Athletic, and I'll throw some stuff out to you guys, and Doogs, Judd, Dex react to this. From Joe Pohlad, quote, "When the right opportunity comes along, you take it. We found that this was the best one, the right one for our family. When you find good people to work with, you want to do that. We've owned this franchise for 40 years. It's a really difficult thing to part with. We feel we are the right people to lead this organization, to own this franchise. With these two new partners, they're going to add a lot to how we think about this organization, both in the short and the long term." Pohlad and sources familiar with the sale process said that the significant investment received from the new minority investors would be used to pay down more than $425 million in debt accrued by the team, which is believed to be one of the higher income to debt ratios in all of baseball. A source with knowledge of the sales process called the agreement unusual because significant investors in a franchise typically want a path to a controlling majority interest, which is not the case here. Joe Pohlad described one of the two limited groups as being from Minnesota. You touched on this, Doogs, and the other from the East Coast. So confirmed from Joe and other people familiar that these minority owners are coming in to help get rid of the $425 million in debt. What we don't know is how much value are they adding moving forward to helping with resources and to make this team more competitive than it's been at Target Field, where they have one of the worst records, and it's like one of the 7 worst records in baseball since 2010, 2011.
Well, and the other question to me is, okay, so they have a seat at the table of the board of directors. But is it one total vote? Like, hypothetically, let's say the Minnesota-based group or the East Coast group says, hey, the idea of one individual running your baseball ops and your business ops just doesn't make sense. Let's change the way we do things internally. Well, is it one full vote? They have a board of directors, okay? Does the vote mean anything? Or in the end, is it Joe Pohlad's call? I'm curious to find out how exactly their board of directors will operate moving forward. I'm just telling you, there are so many questions. How do the Rays sell for $1.7 billion? And the Twins, as far as I can tell, never received a comparable offer. Now, I get it. Maybe the Rays situation is so unique that the new owner has a real estate background. He's a Florida guy, so feels like he can move things forward for a new ballpark in the St. Petersburg, Tampa area. So maybe there is a Florida theme to that, but still fascinating to me that the Rays can go for that without a ballpark, and the Twins can't get that sort of offer. And so just so many different questions, but the board of directors absolutely fascinates me. How exactly will the board of directors operate moving forward?
But so, and this is a question that we can't answer right now, but the first thing that occurs to me is the difference between the Rays and the Twins is that the Twins were trying to slough off their debt on a buyer, and the buyer's like, I'm not taking the debt and paying you 1.7. So here's my question, though. are they, and it's addressed by Joe a little bit in The Athletic, are they bringing in these groups as, okay, someday you might ascend to own the team, or are they desperate and bringing in these groups to try to pay down that debt, get rid of it, and then take it back to market? So like, I don't know. And it's an East Coast group. That could be people, that could be private equity. We don't know. So I'm not so sure, like we are now familiar with what the Wolves did, right? And I know it went haywire, but at the end of the day, two people bought into the team with the ascension plan. It's a lot like the Ishbias and the White Sox. Is that this, or is that just, hey, you're going to help us pay down the debt? You might buy the team, but this is also going to allow us to eventually get out. And Dukes, my point was this. That what the Pohlads should have done was they should have chosen a reporter instead of like scattering it around that they trusted, and they should have said, here's the predicament. Instead, they issue this just nonsense release, and they try to sort of spin the newspaper folks and the website folks, and we have no idea what they are doing. And quite frankly, it makes it look like they have no clue. So I think that they have goofed this up beyond belief. But there are some very important questions that somebody has to answer at some point about what their motivations are.
Yeah, well, I mean, Derek Falvey is supposed to speak either today or tomorrow. I don't know how many answers he'll have. My blowback to you on that, Judd, is let's say the Pohlads, Joe in particular, had gone that route. Do you think anybody would have been like, yeah, okay, they know what they're doing? If they had chosen your route, you think people would have been like, okay, yes, okay, that makes sense. Like, I'm not sure they would have won over anyone. I'm just saying it would have been nice if it was on camera or some audio, not necessarily us, right?
I don't care. But Duke,
Twins
I don't
Radio
care.
Network.
I don't care about that. What I care about is right now they're coming off as basically being clueless, arrogant, and they don't know. And like, at least if you explain, hey, the debt's a real problem. We can't sell. To answer your question, why could the Rays sell? They have no stadium. They have no fan base. And so would they have won over the public? No. But at least people like us who pay attention to this would have said, oh, okay, don't like it, but I get it. Right now, I have no clue what you're doing.
Well, and to answer the first part of your inquiry, my sense is no, there's not some sort of succession plan. Now, I need to find out who the East Coast group is. As of a few weeks ago, there wasn't any A-Rod or Laurie interest, because I think those are the two logical names, especially when you hear East Coast. Is it Mark Laurie? No, I've not heard of Mark Laurie interest. The Minnesota group, there's not a Glenn Taylor tie there. So no Glenn Taylor, no Mark Laurie, no Alex Rodriguez, although I'll follow up. That was a few weeks ago on the Laurie A-Rod front. The Wilfs, as far as I can tell, too, not in this mix. But, yeah, I see where you're going, Judd, on those of us, I guess, who are paying a little bit more attention. Maybe we'll get clarity from Falvey, possibly. Wouldn't it make more sense, though, for Joe? Just stand at the podium, see how it goes. Can it go any worse?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Now, again, I get it. I'm completely pro-media. I'm biased. I understand that. But, like, really? Could it be that much of a train wreck if you put him in front of a podium to answer questions?
Well, so if that happened, for whoever, you know, if I have time to be there, would be happy to be there. But if not, we were just on our group text thread yesterday, and I said, listen, like, from my standpoint, the four biggest questions I have are, number one, and this is a lot to unpack, because in the statement that they put out yesterday, they talked about channeling the passion and the excitement, and like we want passion from our fans into building a team that the fans can be proud of and a team that can win on a high level. And my first question is, okay, then how the hell did we get here from where you guys were 22 months ago, 2 non-playoff seasons, a fire sale at the deadline, essentially admitting failure on the previous blueprint, dumping Carlos Correa for nothing other than financial relief, even though he clearly has juice left based on what we've seen in Houston, lowest attendance in state. There's like a whole conversation of how did we get here from 22 months ago. Please lay that out and explain. I want to know, what is ownership's plan to get back in the good graces of fans? Is right now your approval rating is as low as it's ever been in the Pohlad history of owning this team, including the contraction period. What are the new resources going forward that the minority owners are going to bring forth to help this team do the things that were said in that press release and Derek Falvey's post-trade deadline comments? And then on Falvey, the fourth thing I'd want to know is, why is Derek Falvey running the business and the baseball side of the operation of a team that has a lot of work to do to dig out from its hole on both sides? Like, Dave St. Peter and Thad Levine were very highly respected and probably highly compensated figures. You're taking them out of the equation and not replacing their head counts. Why and how is that the best way to move forward to rebuild this franchise on the baseball and business side?
Amen. Yes. I mean, all of that. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's still so many questions. There really are. Now, I will tell you, in speaking with some people over there, I'm telling you, because fans don't feel this, but there are a number of employees who thoroughly enjoy working for the Pohlads.
Sure.
There are a handful of 30-plus year employees. They did not lay anybody off during COVID. Many other major league teams did. The Twins did not. In terms of benefits, freedom, if people want to go coach their kid in, little league or whatever it might be, baseball, softball, basketball, football, hockey,
Judd eye roll.
There's freedom. Like, they understand that personal life, professional life balance. Also, I think there's a sense of, be careful what you wish for. Change isn't always great. Like, if you're over there now, you know exactly what to expect. So I'll just tell you, for the most part, I don't think it's 100% across the board, but there are a number of Twins employees who are very happy with this news.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm not sure I can find anybody that's really happy.
But their happiness is part of the overall problem, too. It's I've been here for 30 years. This is a bleeping baseball professional sports team. Comfort is not supposed to be like these jobs are not supposed to be about comfort. If you want comfort, go work a 9-to-5-er, which is great if that's what you want. If you want to coach your kid's baseball team, do that. Professional sports and working in them is not supposed to be regular. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be difficult, because that's what professional sports are. You work on Christmas, you know what? And I'm not complaining. It's the life I've chose. I love it. But at the end of the day, like, that drives me crazy is, well, they like working for the Pohlads. The Pohlads love the status quo. The Pohlads love to keep things. That would make them, and it's why with Carl, they were very good in, like, the bottling, right? In the banking world. That's not sports. So that frustrates me more so. And quite frankly, today, if I'm an upper level Twins employee, I am embarrassed. I am getting my resume, especially if I'm young, and I am circulating it. This is embarrassing. I was thinking last night. So here's an example of a guy I feel for, because I really like him. Corey Provis. Now, I know he works for state-run Twins TV, but at the end of the day, he's very good. He's very good, and I think he tries to be as fair as possible. Like, he's not going to rip the Twins. They didn't talk about it last night. I get that. But if I'm Corey Provis, who, by the way, will have options, like, that dude is a pro's pro, how are you not, like, reaching out to the Cubs today? Pat Hughes, their longtime voice on radio, is probably close to retirement. And this is not a criticism of Corey. I'm just saying, this is an embarrassment. And, like, Corey has some pride here. He's got a lot of pride. So he goes on TV last night, either instructed or knowing he can't win. He announces a Twins win in Yankee Stadium, and nobody gives a damn. And he can't talk about, like, the biggest news. I'm embarrassed.
I mean, they did cite it middle of the broadcast, the press release, so they made reference to the announcement. But yeah, in terms of actual commentary, digging in on what the announcement means,
it's an impossible
right.
conversation.
Yes, I agree. And I'm defending Corey
an impossible spot. Yeah, no, I get it.
But I feel for him.
On Corey. Sure. I mean, you can make that case for any number of
Correct.
employees. I had a couple agents text me saying, "Are you bleeping kidding me? What an absolute PR nightmare." Right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, can you imagine the vitriol? There's going to be incredible passion this weekend. I don't even know if it extends beyond this weekend. Oh, by the way, is this Hall of Fame weekend,
Yes.
Declan?
Yes.
Is this Corey
and
Kosky's
a
big weekend?
and a Dustin Lynch post-game concert tomorrow night.
And the 50-year celebration of the 65 team.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of that's happening this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And all an afterthought.
Yep. Hey, by the way, quick shout out to our friends at Z Biotics here. So Z Biotics have made my life a lot easier. As I get into adulthood, it gets harder with those rough mornings the older you get. So Z Biotic is the first pre-alcohol probiotic that is genetically engineered to help tackle those rough mornings. Here's how it works when you drink pre-alcohol. It helps break down the converted toxic byproduct in your gut, and it'll produce an enzyme to help break down, to help tackle those rough mornings for you. So your first drink, make it prebiotic from pre-alcohol from our friends at Z-Biotics, I should say. Go to zbiotics.com/twins to get 15% off your first order when you use twins at checkout. That's zbiotics.com/twins to learn more. Dukes, what do you make of the comments of that they're motivated by this? That I think that's what really set me off, was they saw the passion and they saw everything that inspires them to be better. They've cleared a bunch of money here from post-trade deadline. They have a lot of pre-arbitration guys that are due salary raises here. Do you see them being bigger spenders or being spenders in the offseason, whether that's retaining their own talent or finding external talent in free agency? Do you think that they will make good on that promise?
Well, I mean, if you're a free agent, why exactly are you coming here to Minnesota? So, like, how high do you need to go? Now, do I think you can, for the most part, rebuild a bullpen in the winter? Sure. Now, their comeback is, hey, look at the guys we traded. For the most part, we developed all of those guys. We know what we're doing. We'll develop enough relievers. But if you need some bridge guys on one-year contracts, to me, pretty easy to sign a couple capable relievers to one-year deals. Maybe those guys even understand, hey, if we're out of it mid-July, I'll get traded. I'll happily get traded. So I'll only be there for half the season. But I think you can sign relievers. I would imagine they will sign relievers. Do I think they are trading in this moment Joe Ryan and or Pablo Lopez? I don't. Subject to change, but I don't. Now, I'm on record. Like, the price is just going up, up, up. Like, how good was, lost in the shuffle of all this, but how good was Joe Ryan last night?
Stud.
Threw the fastest pitch of his career, season high 102 pitches. Like, Joe Ryan was brilliant last night. I would absolutely lock him up. There have been no serious conversations on that front. Now, I get it. Why? What exactly is the price? Why would you do it multiple years before he reaches free agency? But to me, the price is going up, up, up. That's a guy I would bet on for the next 5 to 6 years. So that's me. I would pay Joe Ryan, but there haven't been any meaningful discussions on that front. But no, right now, I don't think Joe and Pablo are going anywhere. So they will try to spin this that, hey, 2026 absolutely can be a competitive season. That, now, I don't know if they'll say this, but to me, next year, just like this year, the American League is going to be the weaker of the two leagues. Does anybody blow you away in the Central Division? I get it. The Tigers, for the most part, here right now. Best of luck against Schoolville tonight. I get it. The Tigers have been really good, although not so good the last 3 weeks. But they have so many guys having, to me, what looks like career years, especially in the batter's box. Will that carry over into next year? I'm just saying you could look at the Central Division and say, yeah, there's a path forward. We absolutely can make a run in 2026. So my sense is that's how baseball ops, that's how the ownership group will look at it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're going to spend some money. I can't tell you the exact number, but when the payroll comes down as far as it has, yeah, I mean, you're going to spend some level of money.
One last thing for you here from this Athletic article, Dukes. Just so there was a potential investor that they tracked down. There's multiple names on this byline. Britt Garoli, who's been she's MLB at large, but she's She's been an MLB reporter for like 15 years. One potential investor was skeptical about the team's value. From The Athletic, ticket sales are as bad as they've been since the team moved into Target Field 15 years ago. The team and the league are struggling to secure favorable media rights deals. With the cash infusion, while the cash infusion from minority investors may help the Twins short term, the team could still have a problem generating future revenue because of where the team is at, perception-wise, who's buying tickets, where's the TV money coming in. Like, those aren't solved by this transaction. From the aforementioned potential, they talked to a potential investor who was involved at some point early in the process. Quote, they only have one marquee player, Buxton. It's hard to build a lot of buzz around that team, end quote. I don't know if that was like Justin Ishbia off the record or who that was.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to spend a good amount of money, but heck, I mean, go sign Kyle Tucker. Or go make some big move. Blow somebody away, right? Ultimately, money talks typically loudest. So, yeah, I'm saying if you're a free agent, why are you coming here? But if the offer is so monumental, you can land a marquee free agent. Now, do I foresee that happening? Probably not. But I'm just saying there's a way to quickly change that perception. To me, the bigger concern is there is going to be, unless something drastically changes, we are staring at a work stoppage after next season. So why exactly are you interested in investing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not over $1 billion? Now, what the Twins look like on the other end of this could be very favorable. So I guess maybe that's the line of thinking. Yes, work stoppage, and it may be a lengthy work stoppage. But whatever the new collective bargaining agreement looks like, it will benefit the Twins more so than current day. So I guess, answering my own thought, I guess that would be the line of thinking, that the new CBA is going to benefit whoever is owning these mid-sized to smaller market teams. But I'm just saying right now in the moment, why exactly are you investing? I mean, to me, it's pretty impressive they found two different groups to invest hundreds of $millions to pay down the debt based on where the sport is going.
Yeah.
Dukes, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Enjoy being there, Declan. I'll be there if Falvey is talking today. Just don't know if it's today or tomorrow. But
yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. Didn't hear anything about Pohlad talking to the other reporters either. So I'll let you know if we are able to do that. I'll see you at Target Field.
Bitterness between you guys. All right.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's doing anything on the microphone. So
true.
Yeah, that's not changing. So I'm not surprised you and I weren't reached out to on that front. But yeah, Derek should talk at some point. That's what I was saying.
We'll do. All right, SKOR North Twins Show.
Okay.
More content coming at your way.